Hey everyone, Shadow Rockets here, and today I am sick. So, this is going to be very interesting. I'm sorry, I know it's going to make my voice sound a little crazy and I'm going to be sniffling, but that's just what happens. I'm going to keep trying to upload every day. It might kind of get in the way of that, but that's okay. We're going to see how it works. So, today I have a self-help video for you, and it is going to be on laziness. Now, I know that I did a self-help video a long time ago on sloth, but it wasn't too in-depth, and it was just kind of like a chat or a discussion about it. And so, of course, we're going to go a little bit more in-depth today and just kind of see where we end up. Sorry about that sound there. Just kind of got a weird setup today. So, a person is being lazy if he or she is able to carry out some activity that he or she ought to carry out, but is disinclined to do so because of the effort involved. So that just means well, alright, I kind of don't want to, that's bad to say, but that is one of the definitions that I was given, so I guess I should throw it out there. But later on we're going to talk about how there are some other causes for laziness. I mean, laziness is not even that well studied, so we don't know too much about it, which is kind of interesting. We know more about rats and whatnot and how they have goals and wish to achieve their goals and how they can be influenced. We know more about them than we do about us, so that's kind of sucky. But anyway, you shouldn't confuse laziness with procrastination or idleness even, because to procrastinate is to postpone a task in favor of other tasks which, though perceived as easier or more pleasurable, are typically less important or urgent. So you can, I mean, you're still getting stuff done whenever you procrastinate per se. So, and you can postpone a task for constructive or strategic purposes as well. So, I mean, maybe it suits you better to do something before you do something else. I mean, that makes sense. You have to order things in your life all the time, so procrastination is not necessarily a bad thing. It just kind of means you're thinking out what you're going to do ahead of time, and I kind of respect that. Idleness, or to be idle, is just not doing anything. It could be because you're lazy, or it could be just because you have nothing to do at the moment. And I mean, it's sometimes people want to do nothing, you know. It's romanticized in the world today, like, oh, you have so much free time on your hands, you can just do whatever you want, or you could just chill and do nothing. I don't know if I'm okay with that, but I mean, there are some benefits, I should say, sorry, I just got sick brain today, to being idle, and that just means, you know, it gives you time to just slow down and think about your life and think about what's going on and enjoy what's going on. So, but I don't want to get too much off topic here, so I'm going to get back into the evolutionary theories of laziness, or where it came from. So, a pretty popular evolutionary theory of laziness is that our nomadic ancestors had to conserve energy to compete for scarce resources, and they had to fight a lot or flee enemies and predators, and so expending effort on anything other than short-term advantage could really jeopardize their survival. And so they really just, I mean, there was no need to think long-term for them anyway. I mean, they didn't live long. There's no antibiotics, there's no medicine, there's not even any roads or refrigeration or banks or anything. So they were short-term thinkers. And so honestly, when you're living off of just short-term goals and short-term ideals, it makes sense to conserve your energy for the most efficient way, or the most, I guess, energy draining activity in your daily life, which is usually hunting. So that is just kind of like a pretty, I don't know, there's two theories. There's psychological and there's evolutionary. So I would say it's pretty close to 50% of people can think this. I don't know if you're one of those people. I'm more fond of the psychological theories, but I mean, survival today has fallen off the agenda because we're pretty well taken care of, and so we think long-term strategic activity, because that's going to give us the best outcomes. Yet our instinct is still to conserve energy, making us reluctant to expend effort on abstract projects with delayed and uncertain payoffs. So that is kind of how it ties into our daily life nowadays with the evolutionary style of thought here. Intelligence, however, and perspective can override this instinct, and some people are more future-oriented than others, whom from the heights of their success they deride as lazy. Indeed, laziness has become closely connected to poverty and failure, that a poor person is often presumed lazy, no matter how hard he or she may actually work. So, I mean, I've heard so many people say, like, oh, that person, that pauper on the side of the street, not necessarily pauper, but that poor person over there, a homeless person, they must not work, or why don't they get a job? You know, maybe they tried, maybe just everything went wrong for them. That happens. Just because it hasn't happened to you doesn't mean it doesn't happen to everybody. So just be mindful of that. Anyway, moving on to the psychological theories of laziness. It's painful to expend effort on long-term goals. You know, that you don't see that instant gratification, so it's very hard for you to focus on some activity when you're not going to see anything from it for a really long time, maybe even years, or even tomorrow. For a person to embark on a project, he or she has to value the return on his or her labor more than his or her loss of effort. Really trying to be inclusive here. And also, people are pretty poor calculators. You know, tonight we may eat and drink indiscriminately without factoring in longer-term consequences for their health and appearance, or even tomorrow morning's hangover. Like, honestly, it's I drink. I mean, I'm over 21, and so, I mean, I haven't been hungover too often because I know ahead of time, like, all right, I need to cut back, or I need to drink water ahead of time. So, but I mean, we don't always think about the consequences of our actions, and a lot of the time, most of our actions are just kind of on the spot things. So it's hard to think ahead most of the time. I mean, even just choosing to listen to this video or watch this video, you made that effort, or you made that decision to take the time out of your day and watch this video. So, I mean, that may have consequences. You may not like the video, or you may enjoy the video. There's no telling. So, I don't know. It's sorry, I'm sniffling all over the place, getting closer to the end of this video here. Pleasure is the highest good, but not everything that's pleasurable should be pursued, and not everything that's painful should be avoided. So just kind of try and gauge what you should and shouldn't do. It's not that you're lazy if you don't do something. You just may have calculated that it's not worth it. But what I want to stress is that I don't want you to be lazy because of fear and hopelessness. And those are two pretty huge topics, or pretty huge reasons for laziness as far as what psychologists think about today. I mean, some people fear success, or don't even have sufficient self-esteem to be comfortable with success. And laziness is a way they can sabotage themselves. You know, people also fear failure. And if you've ever heard someone say, it's not that I failed, it's that I never tried. I mean, that's a prime example of this. They're just afraid to fail. So don't be afraid to fail. Don't be afraid to take action in your life. Just think about your actions and think about what you want to do. Set your goals and achieve them. Hope you liked this video. Don't forget to like, favorite, comment, and subscribe if you did. Shadow Rockets out.